What's going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Aiden, and today we're watching Shadow and Bone Season 1, Episode 2. We're all somebody's monster. It sounds interesting. I want to say thank you for everyone who watched the first episode, and as someone pointed out in the comments, one of my biggest points throughout that last episode was trying to figure out what some of the terms meant. And obviously I had a massive brain fart and I didn't understand what a tracker was. And as someone pointed out in the comments, a tracker is someone who tracks animals and people, typically for hunting. See, that makes sense. It makes sense. But based on what I was reading the day before and the reviews that I was watching, people were saying it's very complicated to get into. I just assumed that it would be something more complicated than what it'd be in real life. Like, I don't even know what I thought it would be, but it obviously makes sense. So I guess I'll kind of try and keep a straight and narrow mindset when I watch it, I guess. And obviously I went in with limited expectations for the show. All I was really looking for is a decent fantasy, as I've been craving that kind of genre recently. And while I did have those issues in episode 1, I think they did a great job of setting the stones for the rest of the season. And I'm really interested to see how this Shadow Fold seems to interact with the story and how those main characters kind of interlink with the gang. Anyway, before we jump into this next episode, I just want to shout out my Patreon, where I have a few episodes up early, if that's what you're interested in, and you can watch the full reaction there as well. Right, let's get into it.
Don't you want to know if you're Grisha?
Not if we can't go together.
So Grisha is the magical people, right? Is it second army? Oh, so that's how she's a sun summoner that I didn't know about. She didn't actually go through the test to find out that she was magical. So it ended up just coming out in that bad... Yeah, it ended up coming out during that scene on the skiv.
Well, what, sir?
What are you?
Helena Starkov, assistant cartographer, Royal Corps of Surveyors.
Or does he know?
The Volcro went after the riflemen and Darren Fernie first. And then there was a searing light.
It was her.
Our map maker.
A map maker that just happens to glow.
Can you summon light?
He's just going to force it out of her.
And when were you tested? You don't remember? Well, let us just make certain.
Oh god. Oh god. So I guess the question is, can there only be one sun summoner? Is it unique? By the way they're saying it, is she the only sun summoner? It's very vampiric. So she bleeds light. That is interesting. Nice. That looks sick, that did. It looks sick. And now she's probably going to be used as a tool, right? It's probably actually going to make it harder for this gang to grab her. because she's probably going to be under the watch of the General. Unless General is the bad guy and he's working with the gang.
You heard it here first.
Okay, so this is the Pecker gang that they mentioned last episode. They're also going for Alina.
The other option is I'll cave your head in with your own cane and dump you in the harbour.
It's always the same deal with these kind of people, right? Do what I want or die, pretty much.
I've been warned off the job.
By who?
Pecker fucking Rollins.
Did he remember you?
If he had, I'd be dead. Sunrise in...
I wonder what the beef is between them then. Remember him.
Where are you from?
West Ravka, Oscarovo.
West Ravkans count their money from one hand to the other. But people out east who work the mines in Sikursk, they can't
Wow.
what you do.
I am from West Ravka.
West Ravkans don't mention the west part. To them, there's just Ravka and the old country. You're lying about where you're from because you fled.
I mean, it's a pretty cool insight into Cass's character, right? He's obviously very intelligent to be able to pull that out. You can just look at a crowd of people and understand who they are, you know?
Go on.
See, the outfits in the show are sick. It seems kind of like a fantasy steampunk. Packing with knives, eh?
I'm not concerned with what he has, but I like what you have. A set of skills I happen to need tonight. This business with the blades and the shadows, you must be quite good for Brecker to pay for you.
Yeah, I wonder what her actual skills are. She seems to blend with the shadows quite quickly and escape. I mean, you've got to take it, but obviously it can't go perfectly, can it?
I need you to kill a man for me.
Oh,
Mate, she's serious.
you've got as many knives as I've got teeth.
You know why.
Yeah. But how's getting me to do it any different from you doing it?
Will you help me or not?
Like I said, of course. But
Jesper, new job.
So that is what it is then. Maybe she is the shadows. That's why she keeps disappearing so suddenly. I mean, it makes sense. She can get in and out of anywhere she wants. It's a perfect thief.
Why is that? You summon pure sunlight. Your kind of Eterialki has just been a theory, a picture in a storybook. Until now. You're a very special girl, so...
She is one of a kind then. Okay, that explains why it's such a big deal that she has those powers.
You are hope for the country, yes. But a myth come true for the Grisha. It was a Grisha who created the fall. If a Grisha destroys it, maybe we wouldn't need those high walls to protect us anymore.
So that's what they want from her then. For her to go into the Shadowfold and destroy it. I'm not sure how she can go about doing that. Does she have to station in it forever? Or is there like a core to the Shadowfold? So that guy seems like a cool guy. Some of the Grishka so far have been quite prudish. Fuck. Nice. Oh. You can freeze them in place. That's badass.
Listen to the heartbeats. How many are there?
So that's how a heart renderer can be used in battle, I guess. It's quite useful if they can find out how many people are on the battlefield and perhaps where the actual heartbeats are coming from. General Kirigan. Darkling. Jeez. Oh my god. Look at that mist of blood. She got it in her mouth. Awesome. The Lord of Darkness. Mate, that's sick. I still don't trust him though. Do not trust him. I mean, the way they've designed the character itself, he looks evil. Good old Ben.
What happened back there?
With Black Stallion as well.
Drusilla.
And his cape.
Elite members of the Fjordan military trained to infiltrate deep behind our lines and kill or kidnap Grisha.
I meant how you sliced one of them in half from a dozen paces.
Would you rather I'd used a sword? The cut is something a summoner can do, but it requires tremendous skill. And I would only use it as a last resort.
Is this my life now? Hunted wherever I go?
You get used to it.
Man.
How do they even know about me?
Her life is completely diverted now, right? Always living on the hunt. Being hunted by everyone. Everyone wants access to that power.
Of your kind. But we've always had a name for you.
Sun Summoner.
Hope you can do.
So, General Kirigan is also a summoner, just of a different kind, right? So it's quite interesting to see the difference between the light and the dark. So I wonder if that's going to reflect in the character.
Then just, can't you use some Grisha science to transfer this to someone who can use it?
You would give up your gift.
Gift? You dragged me away from my only friends, and now according to you, I'm going to be a target for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You want to know why you've never...
It's not a gift. Everything you love and enjoy is taken away from you, and you're brought into this horrible, painful world. Darkness. I suppose once she gets used to the idea of having these powers, she does have a family now, right? The first time she isn't an outcast. She's powerful. She can look after herself. A very important skill in what seems like a war-torn area, you know. He's got the power of many. He's probably the best man to leave her with. Until his evil powers start showing.
When I was drafted, my sergeant schooled us about Grisha. He said we would win this war because one of them was worth 50 of us. Then the revolver pistol came in from the west. And I was told that Grisha was worth 24 soldiers. When I lost half my company to the Fjordans with a repeating rifle, and 1 in 10 of our casualties was Grisha, they said it was an acceptable ratio. How long before they are just as useless as the rest of us?
That's the horrible reality of life though, isn't it? As technology progresses, those that are technologically behind us are left in the dust to rot. You see that in regular day now as well, don't you?
Where are you going?
Take her to the Vesta suite.
Am I a prisoner?
Yeah.
All of Ravka is. Until you and I banish the fold.
So that is why he wants her then. They're going to have to work together, as like I said earlier. The light and the dark coming together to defeat the Shadow Fold. Oh man. It's like they said in the first episode, right? Lesson number 1 that they learnt: hold it in until you're on your own, when you're safe to let out your emotions. It's overwhelming, I can imagine, you know? Everything's just happening so fast for her. Probably going from not even knowing that you are magical, or Grisha, or potential Grisha, to all of a sudden now you are princess locked in the top of the tower, you know? Oh, mate. Don't tell me you're just gonna run away in the middle of the night on his own. There's no way that could be an actual
What are you doing?
Keeping a friend.
good decision.
It's not a mistake. She's in danger. She's with the Black General. That's as safe as you can get. I'll stay.
You got to go through proper precautions, right? You know, you're hot-headed. You're gonna run in there, get yourself murdered or hung up. Actually, do your job
Took her a secret from him. Isn't he mad at her?
We're all fools, Dubrov.
and work
When our place
to
is
actually
in trouble,
do something for your country. Eventually, you'll be able to help her.
and when we return, this is my collateral.
What do you have that could possibly be enough? The Crow Club.
Wow.
Wow. I stand corrected. Inej is yours to lose now.
Put a lot on the line. Which I suppose that makes sense.
It's all yours to lose.
There's a high likelihood he's going to go into the Shadowfold and be picked off by those gargoyle-like creatures, right? So who cares about a club when you might not even make it back to run it? Use that to buy Inej's freedom, at least for that short period. Now that was a great second episode, right? Going into this, I had a few questions that I needed to be answered. You know, last episode I definitely struggled with getting some of the terms down, but here the Sun Summoner was explained a little bit further, so she definitely is a Sun Summoner. It is a unique talent that will be useful when it comes to trying to dispel this shadow fold. Ben Barnes seemed to play it quite well, actually. The character design with his black stallion and his cloak, black clothing, dark hair, pale skin. There's no way he isn't going to be some kind of evil character. It seems to be like, I think I mentioned earlier, the Lord of Darkness, almost the complete opposite of Alina. So it's going to be interesting to see how their skills work well together to either dispel this Shadowfold, or perhaps if he is evil, perhaps expand it. So that would be interesting to see if they go that direction instead. Maybe they're not trying to get rid of the Shadowfold, or at least he's not. If he actually made that, I wonder what is the benefit of that? I suppose, world domination. If it's all a shadow, he's the master of shadows. They did a good job of playing off of the emotions from Alina and Mal right at the end. You can definitely see there's a major connection there. I don't know if that is signs of a love interest, more than just a love interest. I think at that? Or is it just the fact that they've been best friends since they're kids, and this is the first time in their lives where they are completely separated without any kind of way of contacting each other? She is not allowed to leave her ivory tower, almost like a princess trapped up at the top. He is trapped in the First Army for Shrek, and he can't get to the first palace where she's heading, right? He's just a regular guy, and there's no chance he's going to get in there. His friends at the end suggested that he should continue fighting, earn a medal, and then use that as a chance to see her and potentially break her out. So it'd be interesting to see if they manage to do that. Although, I wonder if that's even going to happen in this season anyway. That seems like quite a big plot point. So maybe next season. We got further development on the Dreg gang with Kaz, Injed, Inedge, and Jesper. It's interesting to see the dynamic between each three. Jasper seems to be quite a charismatic guy. During that scene where he's trying to cover for Kaz going into the Pekka club, and yeah, it was just interesting to see his way of going about that. You know, you mentioned he isn't this charismatic guy who could just walk up. It's not one of his perks, let's say. And you know, he just shoots up at the sign. Oh, it's not me. It's not me. This is a cool character, and it's interesting to see how Kaz has put his whole life on the line, his club on the line, just so he can bring Inedge over with him through the Shadowfold. I suppose she is the key to getting into Alina's room, perhaps. Sneaking in with her shadow powers. Somehow she seems to be either, I don't know if she's going invisible. Is she turning into smoke? Is she just lightning fast? I don't think we know that yet. But she's definitely going to be a useful asset to him. Like you said last episode, invaluable. The battle that happened about midway in the episode between the Driskella, I think they're called, those enemies that were infiltrating into Rashka. Yeah, the fight between them and the Grishka was very interesting, and it was a good way of kind of helping me understand what the Grishka are and some of the skills they do. I know there's different ranks. They got your Inferni, so the Water Walker, or whatever it's called. So that should be your more traditional magic, your destruction magic, if you're a Skyrim fan. And then you've got the Heart Renderer. We saw that in the first episode, and how she managed to slow down the guy's pulse so he could be a bit more relaxed and say what he's hiding and is scared to say. Seeing how that kind of role plays in combat was interesting. What a useful skill that would be. In the middle of battle, you can use your power to sense the heartbeats of all of the enemies around you. Perhaps where they're even located. It's almost like a heartbeat monitor on your gun, you know? Cheating, look through walls. Very, very interesting episode. I'm really looking forward to the next ones showing coming up. Okay, the next episode is The Making at the Heart of the World. Right. So that is my reaction to Shadow and Bone episode 2, and I really did enjoy it. If you would like to see me watch anything else, let me know in the comment sections below, and I'll put it in a poll, and we'll see from there. I'm interested in watching any kind of movies, TV shows, and perhaps anime. So yeah, If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with the next uploads. Right, cheers.